tattoos. When I love squad members, I can't act cool. Hey, young, this your beat? Nothing lasts forever, I don't got tattoos. I love squad members, I can't act cool. I like my bitches short and thick and I ain't gotta act rude. She won't treat me like I'm the rest, cause I ain't that dude. I seen some things as a child and change my thoughts forever. Try to do right, I'm on the ass and I won't fucking let up. Hit from the side, bitch, don't be lazy, lift your fucking leg up. To all my niggas going through a struggle, keep your fucking head up. Anything you going through, I'm a witness, it won't last forever. Just stay down and hold your side, don't change up like the weather. If he around me, then he got a ruler, but he ain't trying to measure. I got it in here, me some weed to get my thoughts together. Hard in the summer, but my heart cold, so I gotta rock a sweater. We came in this roll it on, so we ain't gon' leave out together. I know I'm blessed, I know my worth, so I can never settle. You can't show yourself before you only time can tell. Broke here, get one time to fuck up, then you can't go here. More deal, I got too many stuff, but bring a pole here. No deal, I won't set my soul ain't high and go here. I won't school and stay loyal to my niggas and my face stick to the cold here. Just a new 40 on my hood, the bitch to blow here. Just a different dope inside the blunt, we get a lows in. Smoking on some dope from the cutter, got a joke in. Treat the bitch like a receiver, put the bitch in motion. I'm drinking on some shit that change a mood, we call it potion. Can't even hide the 30 in the clip, it be poking. And I bought them bean, we got some smoke, they get it going. White girl playing with her, no lens and no hand. My little cousin slipped up and lost a baby, she was 16. Ain't doing shit for free, I want 200 for a 16. Glock with a thing, a 30 clip with a red beam. She make it hard for me cause all that nigga sold a big dream. Don't lose on thug behind no shit you saying that you ain't me. All my niggas slide, you know what's up, bitch, you can't play me. I see the picture clear, my life a movie like it's HD. I'm on 50K screens and I ain't got no post on say cheese. Light a little whipping when I up it, better say cheese. This life taught me some lessons, fuck the school, I want a degree. I'm just trying to take care of my people, how you hate me. When a nigga got caught with that elite, this shit was crazy. Bitch, the trap baby shit don't do that.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I want to thank everybody for joining us for episode number 52 of the Get Hook podcast. As always, this is your boy Hook.
And your favorite younger sister, Crystal.
Not that much younger.
Something about me not being that much younger with your old ass. Say something. I don't want to say how every on to you, but you missed the water. You didn't eat in the cafeteria. I'm confident of it.
Look at you. All right, so check this out, right? So everybody who knows me, knows anything about me, you guys know that I was born and raised in Allendale, South Carolina. Everyone knows that I ride for my city. Everybody knows that I love my city. I love my hometown. And it's a little disheartening when you hear and read all these negative things about your hometown, and most of that's coming from people on the outside looking in. What they think they know, but we who are from there, we know the truth. We know that there are a lot of great gems in Allendale. We know that there are a lot of great people from Allendale. So it's extremely disheartening when we read something that speaks to the contrary. Most times when you hear about Allendale, you hear about like the poverty level, you hear about the school system failing, you hear about the mismanagement of local government. A lot of blow, it's like blow after blow. It's always negative things surrounding Allendale. But today we're going to be talking about a positive spin. We're going to be talking to a group of people who were born and raised in Allendale, Allendale County. Sorry, clients, I know you're from Fairfax, so we're gonna say Allendale County, and they're just gonna talk about their journey, their journey to get where they are, and give some of their thoughts on some of the things that are going on back in Allendale now. And Chris, I know you're not from Allendale, but what are your thoughts on the subject?
I'm from the great county of Richland County. Shout out to my area, and I'm here right now. Normally I'm at home, but I'm out here supporting my city because it's my brother's birthday. So I'm from the vehicle, but I believe in supporting your people. I believe that many times people point out the negatives, and that's where the news or the story is, but nobody talks about the beautiful things. Nobody talks about how the county flourishes. Every coal has a gem inside of it. And I believe that they don't know that the pressure that we're under makes us diamonds. So I'm so glad that you did this. Now, I love y'all, but I'm gonna be going to my folks in a minute. However, I made a point today, just like I showed up for him, I'm gonna show up for him because I do believe it is important. We talk about Money Mondays, and this is the first Monday in July, but this is where the money lies. This is where the money resides. This is where where you take the information about you all and show the other kids in Allendale what you can be and what you can't do. Don't let nobody speak over you. Poor, broke, poverty, bad, negative, any of that. Speak over amazing, speak over accomplished, because we are going to show them that just like we did it, you are capable of doing it as well. So I'm very thankful that Hook did this today.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and get things cracking. But before we do that, I want to allow my guests, I want to give them an opportunity to tell you who they are. So y'all go ahead and take it away.
Good evening, everyone. I am a native of Allendale, South Carolina. My name is Adrienne Johnson. I am a member of the illustrious class of Allendale Fairfax High School class of '94, the best to ever do it. I am also CEO and founder of Cornerstone Coaching and Consulting. I'm a tenured human resource professional. Cornerstone Coaching and Consulting strive to be the premier provider of career readiness training and performance coaching, and I'm glad to be here.
Go ahead, Keith.
Welcome, welcome.
All
Who's
right, my
next?
fault. Yeah, it was froze a little bit, so I couldn't hear. But now my name is James Cave, or AR call me JC. I graduated Allendale in 2013, and I'm currently a data analyst for a nonprofit.
Okay.
Hey, you and me
Hey,
gonna connect. That data analyst,
so,
that's my thing right there.
And
hey, my name is Cayus Johnson. Everybody know me. I don't even got to do all that. I'm also a graduate of class of '94, the best class to ever come through AF, and we know that. That's no debating. I'm also a graduate of Johnson C.
And
Smith
y'all had Hook,
University,
and y'all still say y'all the best class?
The best.
and, I've been with Wells Fargo from corporate investment banking to wholesale banking for the last 18 years in the IT side.
It's my brother.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Yo, what up? It's the kid Tim Bowers. I believe you were not born to be average. You were born to leave a legacy worth remembering. I am an award-winning author of the book Average to Awesome, Transitioning from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. These are actually students from Allendale. So I deliberately made this cover what it is to specifically inspire my youth in our community. And I am a first generation college graduate of Benedict College, and a youth motivational speaker, owner of Tim Bowers Enterprise. Class of 2006 is the best class that walked those halls. So
You have to have role models, and so you modeled that
you know
for
what I'm
you.
saying?
Hey, and Tim is also a member of the greatest fraternity known to man.
Kappa Alpha
Yes,
Psi.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's
Hey,
go.
hey, man, I really appreciate you guys for joining, and we gonna go ahead and dive into this thing, man. So, to kick things off, I just want to ask you, because you all, told us the years you graduated from AF. So, what was your individual path after graduating from Allendale Fairfax? And feel free to go in any order. So, just get in where you fit in.
So, like I said, I graduated in 2006. When I left there, I went to Benedict, started Benedict in 2006, graduated in 2010. Right after I finished Benedict, I went into work for Wells Fargo. They was going through their merger with Wachovia. So I was a phone banker there. Then I went into Banker Connection. I had this path that I wanted to take in the financial industry, learn everything I needed to learn to go inside of the branch, network, build relationships, and then become a district sales leader. But that didn't work out. I ended up leaving Wells Fargo to work for a marketing and advertising firm as a sales rep. I did that for 5 years. And in that process, found a passion for professional speaking, started Tim Bowers Enterprise, and that's where I'm at today. But in the midst of that, I used to own a janitorial company as well. So right after college, 2011, I started a commercial janitorial company with a partner of mine. We ran that for 4 years. And yeah. So that's pretty much my journey professionally, up to this point.
I
All
love
right,
how
so
you
Adrian, I'm
not
gonna give
working
you a
for
chance.
someone,
I'm gonna give
started
you a
working for
chance to go next,
yourself. I
Adrian.
love that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Okay, when I left Allendale Fairfax High, I went to the University of South Carolina, Spartanburg campus, and as a freshman, left campus. I Life happened. I ended up transferring from USC Spartanburg, and when I say life happened, I got pregnant. Ended up transferring from USC Spartanburg to USC Aiken, and in between going to USC Aiken and finishing up my career, my college career, I worked some milestone jobs, and I say milestone jobs because I don't want to go into the jobs that I did have. However, a moment in time was when I got fired on my day off when I went back to school to finish my bachelor's degree.
Damn,
Uh,
Craig.
about two semesters.
Craig.
I got fired on my day off. And I got fired on my day off because I chose family. I chose to do something for my daughter because she was getting ready to start school on that Thursday, and they wanted me to come to a meeting on that Tuesday, and I told them that I wasn't going to be there. And so they fired me on my day off. Best thing they could have done, because I called up, the University of South Carolina. My counselor at the time was getting ready to retire in a year, and so she helped me map out my college plan all the way until graduation. I went back to school, graduated in 2002 with my bachelor's from the University of South Carolina Aiken campus. That Hook and I share, also alumni. Then I went on to Troy University to get my master's degree, still working milestone jobs like customer service, building my professionalism. When I was at Troy University and working at Electrolux Major Appliances as a customer service rep, I had a young lady introduce me to her mom, who's now still my mentor. Her name is Arlette Gibson. And she gave me my chance into HR. And so back in 2000, and I believe it was back in 2006, I got hired on Good Friday, and my interview and my HR career has excelled since then. While working in HR, I've made an impact, helping people advance their careers, helping them with performance on the job, helping them to be able to take the job seriously. And from there, like I've worked in industries from corporate HR to HR consulting. Now I'm into regional HR, where I'm over the Southeast region for Keller companies. We're geotechnical industry. And so from that, I birthed Cornerstone Coaching and Consulting, because I realized there are a lot of people who are not prepared for the workplace, who needs a lot of career preparedness, who needs assistance in mapping out their plans, identifying that they have transferable skills to be able to go into another career field and just glean some things from where they were in life and be able to transfer that into what they love. And so for me, it's all about making an impact, as Tim said. Coming from Allendale, growing up there, I think I had a lot of skills that I obtained growing up, and I was able to use it professionally and help catapult me to where I am today.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
JC, you up. You got 2 minutes of fame.
Outstanding.
Got
Outstanding. I love how you talked about your story. I always say that I never believe that people will tell you that your destination is Decker Boulevard or Two Notch Road, but they never give you the road map. They never tell you what they went through. Like, you might go to church and they'll be like, "Oh, they've been married for 8,000 years," but they never tell you what they went through to get to that 8,000 year. They don't tell you the bumps in the road. They don't tell you it was a pothole on the way. They don't tell you about the struggle. So I myself had a child at 21, and I graduated college at 34, 33, one of them ages. But it was one of them times where you did not stop, and doing different things didn't stop you. So I love that you included the adversities that you went through that got you to where you are, because God will bless you in the midst of all your afflictions. They
Amen.
don't talk about
God
what we
bless you.
went through to get to where we
Mhm.
are. So I love that.
God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, boom, I'm gonna go. So I graduated from Allendale in 2013. Then I went to Clemson University. And originally I was gonna major in marketing. I was gonna go on and do something marketing related. I didn't know. But it was this weird thing. You need a certain GPA to major in marketing. And let's say I never got close to that GPA. So I ended up having to major in management, and like my emphasis area was like information systems. But it was like one of those things you mentioned, like at the time, it's like something I felt bad about, but it's one of the best things that happened to me because then doing that, I found like data analytics, which is something I really enjoyed. So then when I graduated, that was my emphasis area. I just wanted to work with data and numbers and everything. And like and once again, things will always go like as you perfectly have them in your head. Like, yo, I'm gonna graduate college. As soon as I graduate, I'm gonna have this great job and everything. Like, you gotta remember all your path is always gonna be unique to you. You can't compare yourself to anyone else's path. Because when I got out of college and I didn't immediately have a job that like I enjoyed working on,
That was one of
anything to do what I went to school with. So I'm questioning everything. Like, did I waste my time? Did I maybe have too much fun in college? And I'm just kind of trying to navigate all that and just kind of staying grounded, in my faith and everything throughout the whole process. And I finally ended up with a job and doing analytics, and like I'm someone where I feel valuable. I feel like I contribute a lot, and I'm just really able to make a difference, and not just the work I do, but I get to help others through my work. So that's been really great.
Yeah, I know what you mean. College was the best 6 years of my life.
Hey, I really do know.
10,
Hey,
how long it took?
I really do know Hook and Terrence,
It
the
took us
Eunice
a
and Williams
while.
family, hate when I
So
say this, but I'm dead serious. They helped set my path after high school. So Hook pushed me educational wise because I know I was smarter than Hook. So he pushed me educational wise to always be better than him educational wise. So I got to college with ease. So when I got to college, since I'm first generation, I had no idea of what a major should be. I'm thinking like, hey, it's just like high school. You just go to classes and you
go
good.
in there and take
So then I got there, they said, so what's your major? It's like, major?
I don't
I
know.
have a major. So I thought of a conversation I had with Hook. He said, hey, my brother is in college and he's doing computer science. Boom. My major's gonna be computer science.
wow.
I'm competitive, so I know I can do it.
Yeah.
So I pretty much went to John C. Smith, the Harvard of HBCUs, did my time there, got my computer science degree, went to work for IBM. Boom. Don't know how I got to IBM, but hey, they came to Smith, recruited me. I went to IBM. I moved to Lexington, Kentucky.
That's a good option.
Boom. Like, yo, I went to Lexington, Kentucky, realized like Allendale was bumping back then. Believe me, everything was in Allendale back then. I would work 12 hours at IBM in Lexington, Kentucky, and drive back to Allendale so I could be on Flat Street on Friday nights.
What?
Yeah, Flat
And
Street.
just to park at the grocery store in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I had to give IBM up because I almost fell asleep one time in the mountains. So I said, hey, that's it for me. So I moved back to Charlotte, got a chance to work with Eastman Kodak.
Oh wow.
Stayed there for about 2 or 3 years. Then they tried to move me to Rochester, New York. Wasn't happening because that snow was serious out there. So then I got the opportunity to go with Wachovia. I've been with Wachovia / with the merger, we went to Wells. I've been there for the last 18 years, from, like I said, from corporate investment banking to wholesale banking to just doing my IT thing. Check is good. So, hey, life is good. So I ain't got no reason to jump ship. So that's my story.
And Kanye, she said something because I think people sleep on Allendale, man. Because like back in the day, like we lived to go home. Like every chance we got, weekends, holidays, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Tuesday. We lived to go home because it was so. We had such a good time. It was so much fun. But when you go back there now, it's almost kind of like what the hell happened?
Yeah. So real quick, but real off of that though, like for real, back then, like I can go home and I can I always stop by Hook House, see Hook home, because there was no major cell phones or social media internet back then. So you had to actually stop. So I stopped by Hook House. I talked to his mom for hours because she knew that, I was trying to do something with my life. So she didn't mind talking to me. Same thing with Dwayne and Dwight. I can go by their mom's house, and even if they ain't there, I could talk to their moms for hours because they were proud that I was willing to do expand myself. Try to better myself. So they wanted to hear that story because Allendale County really was a part of us. Like, and Hook and Adrian know we were running a business at 15 and 16 years old.
Yeah, we were.
Mr. Solomon gave us a whole building that we could conduct business in. We conduct business. We had meetings. We had money. Like, yo, we set up. We were orderly. Like, yo, we knew Robert Rules of Order before I knew what Robert Rules of Order was.
Yes,
absolutely. And we were the first class from Allendale Fairfax who didn't go to Washington D.C. for the senior trip.
As their senior trip,
right?
Exactly.
We went to Orlando
and the ability to do it.
Right.
That's right.
And to this day, guess where they're going for their senior trip? Orlando.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Also, that's where that originated from, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Right.
Y'all the soldier boy. So y'all the soldier boy of the thing.
You know.
I
ain't gonna say we started it, but you know.
Values anymore. People don't talk about how we lost a lot when technology, no offense to the soldier boy generation, but we lost a lot. Like, there was a day I told someone, you remember on Thanksgiving when you could be home and someone would drop in because there was no Facebook, no cell phone.
Exactly.
You know, they could it might be on the hook, it might be off the hook. But back then people would drop in, people would visit, like you home and you stop in. If I ain't home, you talk to my grandma or something. You don't have that anymore. And that community is something that people talk about small towns, but the reality is small towns could teach a lot of these big towns a lot of stuff, because the reality is we're missing that.
We had a lot of staples in our communities, a lot of role models, a lot of people we could talk to gain knowledge and gain wisdom. And I promise, like Kanye said, you can go to anybody's house and talk to their mom. And if they knew your mom, if they knew your family, or if they knew that you were trying to be somebody and go somewhere in life, they were willing to help you. I can name so many people that I've gleaned a lot of information for. I was always told you got 2 ears to listen, one mouth to talk. Go in the room and be quiet and glean information, because if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change your circle.
Yes.
And so, so many people, across the town of Allendale that I can say we probably all have gained knowledge from. And then going back to your story of at Thanksgiving you can drop in. That's why we got dressed up to go to the living room, because we knew we were going to leave home and go to somebody else's house and get a plate, and we had to be looking good. You know what I mean? And so
you couldn't be caught looking raggedy.
That
also taught us pride. You didn't have arguments about who wears a bonnet anywhere, because you did not know who you were going to see, who was coming over. You made them kids dress up before they went to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
There's a different level of morals. I tease Hook for being an ancient, hero, but there is a different level of morals for those who were born in that era, the 70s, the 80s, and some of them 90s, about 94 and before. But there's a different level of moral. I'm so sorry. You came from Allendale. You might have had a little longer. It's like Juneteenth. You guys found out about the truth later.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's a different level of moral that you don't see anymore.
Right. So piggybacking on what she said, and once again, the Miss Williams, Katrina reached out to me Christmas time. She said, "Hey, you got some words you want to say to Allendale, during the holidays." She gave me an idea. I said, "You know what I'm gonna do?" And they will tell you, I called so many people, because social media allows us just to send a text or send a Facebook post and that's going to satisfy everybody. I picked up my phone and I went through my phone list and I called individually. Like, talk to them on the phone, because there was a pandemic. So I want to hear that you're good. I see you on social media, but I want to hear that you're good. So there's a difference, So I called so many people personally on my phone just to make sure they were good. Like, just 2 minutes of fame. That's all. 2 minutes. You ain't got to have a long, drawn out conversation. Hey, I'm just calling to make sure you're good.
Yeah,
that's it. It's that simple. And because it seems like everybody, one thing we got in common, we all grew up in Allendale, right? And we may have taken different paths, going to different schools, but here we are, and we're living testaments to the pedigree that people from Allendale have. So how would you guys compare Allendale, how it was then when we were living there, and how it is now when you go home to visit? What's the difference?
So a lot of my community is not there. A lot of the houses are gone. A lot of the businesses are gone. A lot of the people
the pride is not there.
Yeah, it's not there. It's disheartening. And a story of a young man. He was from Amador. I've never heard of this part of South Carolina, and I'm from South Carolina. Amador, South Carolina, where he was fixing the vehicles. He was giving them away to people in need. It was like 90 cars that he fixed. Did y'all hear about that story?
Yeah.
For me, this is what I said, and I read, and I can't take credit for it. I read it in the comments under what he did. So what he did, so I was thinking that how our communities could have been saved is, y'all, we have a lot of people who are construction workers, builders, a lot of people who are electricians and plumbers who probably could have saved some of the dilapidated houses from being torn down to keep our communities looking good. But I think a lot of us went away, we went to school, we wanted to get our successes, and I'm not going to say we didn't go back home, but if we had just maybe camaraderie, we could have saved some of our houses or something, or the people there who did have those businesses could have saved them. Because I'm disheartened that a lot of the homes in our communities are gone. Like my grandmother's house is no longer there, and because she and my grandfather are deceased, and you know, so it's a lot of houses that I grew up in, because friends used to live there and everything aren't there anymore. So it's really disheartening that they aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still naive. I still ride through Allendale. Like I'm gonna see a whole bunch of people walking.
Me too.
I still ride across
Yeah.
the track.
Me too.
Ride through KP. I'm still looking for them folks to be walking like they were walking in the 90s.
I know.
Allendale
I mean, even
so much. I promise you, I was in Allendale so much when I was younger. People from Allendale, people from across the tracks thought I lived in KP, and people in KP thought I lived across the track. I was in Allendale just that much. I could park my car and walk around Allendale for hours. Like literally drive down Allendale, get out of the car and just walk.
You are right, because we used to put on our best clothes and just walk and look good. Where you going? We're going walking.
Right.
The years that we're in right now, a lot of communities lost that old time feel. I remember laughing, telling somebody I used to walk, like we didn't have cell phones. My grandma would be like, y'all can go outside, and we would be in the woods. We'd be down the street.
Train
What
track.
most people call me, but like, y'all good, bro. You couldn't even yell to ask me. We just knew to come home.
Exactly.
But none of that's there no more. But that's why I told Hook about Money Mondays and why we need to bring Black Wall Street back. Because you made a point. I think that verbalizes a lot of what I've been saying. The Black Wall Street didn't have anything that we don't have right now. Data analysts. I mean, people who have the same ideas and jobs. We take the gifts we got. Contrary to popular beliefs, you build the spreadsheets, you write the books, you communicate with the people, you handle the banks, you run the stuff. We take our gifts and wait for somebody else to give us a check, but we the same people that can do it on our own, and we don't save our houses. We don't go and make grandma's house a landmark. We don't do any of that, but we have the ability to. We just don't. We've lost that community, and that was a good point you made. We don't have community anymore. You can't go to a foot. We used to go to football games. I know y'all had it because y'all talk about
oh
how
yeah, Friday night lights.
Friday night
Oh,
lights
was amazing. Basketball games packed house.
I ain't even go.
Friday night
I
game
used
for
to
high
sneak
school
in the
was
game.
better
That's
than
how
the
bad I
club.
wanted to go. Like jump the fence.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? The back. Like
Yeah.
I remember vividly with Timberland boots on. You feel what I'm saying? Because I wanted to get in the game. Like it
Get
was
in
that
there.
serious.
It was so different than what these kids have now.
Little League Baseball was big business in Allendale
Big
County.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It merged so many relationships that it wasn't even funny.
Marshall
Like literally,
Park,
by the time I got
Vernon,
to business,
Fairfax.
I knew everybody.
Yeah.
That's
No.
one of the biggest
Do y'all
differences.
remember
Look what
this?
you're saying.
Flat Street, where you used to, I was a youngin', but go to Flat Street to get the fried chicken sandwich.
The pork chop sandwich and the chicken sandwich.
Best chicken sandwich ever.
Yo,
Hey, my boy Sean Jones swore that was the best chicken sandwich on earth.
the best
I
chicken
don't know if it
sandwich
was alcohol or what, but he thought that was the best chicken sandwich on earth.
It was.
It's a different time that we're in. You can't catch those moments anymore. So when you were saying, Hook, what's the difference between now and then? I think social media is great.
Mhm.
Forgive my language, but it effed us up.
It did.
Because we miss it. Friday Night Lights was bigger than the club. I would rather go to a football and chant 3-6 Mafia because the band is playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a country feel. So we had it here in Richland County. You go to a game now, you be like, I'm ready to go.
But Hook, you know what really killed Allendale County? And this is the last thing, I'm gonna leave it at this. When they took the generational teachers out, the ones that were a part of the community, and not just being a sheet of paper, and, you know, implants coming in from everywhere. Saying, this is a sheet of paper. These are the kind of students you have versus the ones that you was going to church with, the ones that taught your parents, your sisters, everybody.
Yes.
They took all of them out. So
absolutely,
they don't, you know, so everybody was doing their job and not caring. So there's a difference when you care about a student versus doing your job.
Right.
Exactly.
We lost everything.
We had a lot of teachers that cared about us. A lot of, when you go back to you, Conyers, when you were talking about competitive, I remember it was me and Freak in math class, and Miss Pam, I can't remember her last name, but I know her first name was Pam Priester. Yeah. And it was me and Freight that used to be so competitive. Hook, me and you back from 7th grade in Mr. Brandon class, just a lot of classes. I mean, I know our class, we were just competitive, and it stemmed out for me with my brother. My brother graduated, a year before Terrence, and they set the bar so high for us. It's like we have to carry that torch.
But those teachers cared back then.
Exactly. And I was
they didn't sit there and say, "Oh, put these kids on medicine," or "This kid can't sit still."
They were calling your mom. They were calling your house.
You need to sit
Or
your
they
ass
was finding something for you to do. They was meeting you at your level. They knew how to switch interpersonal skills to teach you on your level, and not just try to teach you one way. Because a lot of teachers they try to teach kids just one way, and you have to meet every child at their level, because not all of them
care different. Teachers would take you home if your mama didn't show up. Teachers would come to you and be like, "Why you not here?" Teachers would be like, "Listen, come here closer. Sit your ass down before I call your mama. You told me don't call her no damn more about you." But these teachers now are like, "I think you should recommend him for an IEP."
That's right.
I keep my ass sitting focused. You can't do your work.
My mom was an educator, so I couldn't show out.
Your Sunday school teacher could be your math teacher.
Yeah, you're right.
You might get at school and tell your teacher, Miss Jones.
Yeah, I think I got most of the teachers that was like, we still had a couple that was like in the community a lot. Like I had Miss Johnson, Miss Carter, Miss Davis, like a lot of them. I remember Miss Michael. I remember all of them. Like I'm forever grateful for them. But I think we had a lot of the teachers that were like, I guess they were just there to do a job versus like actually caring about me, or maybe not me, because I was like always, I was good. I did my work and everything, so I was fine. But the students who maybe weren't the greatest students, they didn't extend that extra effort to them to try to reel them
back then teachers did everything but whoop your ass, and we thought they might have done that.
That's it.
I remember Mr. Harper and Miss Frazier and
we can name small
so many
people all day. It was community. I was rolled outside of class. It was the community.
Yes, it was a
they
community.
were there for us. Think about it. Vern Taylor was coaching baseball. He probably still trying to coach baseball. Probably got 3 players, but he's still trying to coach baseball.
So Hook, I think one of the questions you asked us was the question you asked was, how was it growing up in Allendale? And for me, I also thought about what did I learn? I think Allendale growing up in Allendale in a small town taught me how to cope, taught me leadership skills, definitely taught me my athletic skills, because I was playing basketball with Eric Dockler and Tony Miller, and I was playing basketball with my brother Derek Allen, and I was playing basketball with Percy and them, dirt basketball in my backyard. So I knew the game before I went to school to play organized ball. Right. And I got in trouble when I had to try out because I was doing one-handed layups, and my coach told me, "You're gonna learn how to use both hands." So, I learned so many skills. And when I say coping skills, y'all, it's about when we used to go outside and our parents used to tell us, you gonna stay in or you gonna stay out. So you had to learn how to find you some food to eat. So we picked blackberries, we picked plums. Absolutely. We had to drink from the water hose. Yeah. We had to
water hose, best water.
Best water ever. Oh
exactly. We had to go get in a tree to stay cool because it was so hot out. You know what I mean? And then leadership skills. For me, I learned leadership skills and built my confidence, because when your friends was on punishment, so one of your other friends said, you the one that can go to the house and convince the mama to let them come outside. Right. So I had to build up my confidence to go to the door and be like, especially with Melissa Moore, grandma, Miss Ella, can Melissa come outside? Or can I come inside and play with her? And then come inside, and I said, let's make a lot of noise so she'll send us outside, and then she'll get to come outside for the day. So you had that skills. You had to learn.
Allendale might have been a little richer than Richland County. You had a water hose?
We had water hoses, baby.
You had to have Y pliers to do it.
No,
both. And it depends on which one you went to.
Depends on which one you have pliers to do ours.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
you know the biggest thing,
I think
go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
What a lot of people don't get, man, is Allendale teaches you how to, at least for me, how to figure it out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
was
you
about
gotta
to say.
figure it
You gotta
out.
figure it out.
You know, like people don't know this, but like I used to sell acne medicine and pills in high school to teachers after school.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I would stay after school. I was working for this company called Shackley. Yeah, y'all. I was a hustler. It teach me how to hustle, yo.
Yeah.
I remember leaving juvie, and I was like, man, like, you know, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, you know, we on government assistance. Like, I don't like this. You know what I mean? And I started walking around, you know, to different stores, convenience stores. Like, yo, I need a job, yo. I work. I'm 14 years old. And I look at it now like I just need to understand, like nobody ain't gonna give you nothing. Like you literally gotta figure it out, and you can't resort to what's easy. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, I ain't tripping. Like, you know, you want to do that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know that other stuff.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Understand those consequences that come with that, bro.
Exactly.
You wanna you wanna look over your shoulder, or you wanna, you know, put in some work so you can be, it may not be ideal, you know what I'm saying? But in the long run, bro, it's gonna teach you something that's gonna put you in a position to win. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I started working for, you know, Sammy, Choice Cut Meat. Man, I was mopping floors, cleaning baseboards, stock boy. I was back there cutting the meat, bro. I was back there giving people too much meat. Sammy was like, "No, you got to get from back here, bro." You feel me?
You used to cook me
there. I was
go
working.
With Tim work. Go with the young boy work.
Yeah, bro.
You costing me too much.
It's crazy, bro, because you know I would get paid under the table. So every week, you know what I'm saying, I'll get bread, and it just taught me control, like being the individual that controls my destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like control my freedom. Like, and that's one thing that I took from Allendale, to the point where from 9th to 12th grade, my mother didn't have to pay for anything. I paid for everything. You know what I'm saying? I was helping mom pay her bills sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's that hustle, you know what I'm saying, that figure it out, and that grind that a small town, you feel what I'm saying, like taught me, for real.
Yeah.
The one thing Allendale taught me, man, is family, bro. Like value family. Like, yo, man, I say that seriously. Like, if you from Allendale, I don't care where you are in this world, you gonna connect with Allendale.
That's
Allendale,
right.
You will connect with Allendale. Like, yo, y'all been friends forever. Like, how long? How this dude be from 88 and you from 94 and y'all so close? Like, yo, if I go to Allendale, I'm going to Columbia right now and say, hey, man, you hang with Allendale people, you hang with 5.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I always have people to say, well, dang, y'all boys from Allendale so tight. Like, yo, because it's always nobody.
So I
You
have
go to
a
Atlanta,
question.
you're going to be Allendale with Allendale. You go to Chicago, you're going to be Allendale with Allendale. No matter where they are, they're always hanging together. Like, you would never find Allendale.
So I'm very curious about y'all's relationship with Allendale. One thing, we always talk about Money Mondays. And Tim, you brought up a great point about the hustle. Adrian, all of you talked about different things that got you where you are. So I am curious, with the hustle, with the drive, with the grind, with the having to, you know, to move different ways to make things happen. One thing I do want to ask is, what did Allendale teach you about money? And I mean that by saving, about budgeting, about putting yourself in position where you can help your family, but build for yourself and become entrepreneurs, become an author, become an analyst, to become who you are today.
See, that's when Mr. Solomon came in, where he gave us the business. Like in 94, class of 94, we had a business. Like, yo, we used to do car washes, parties. We did all of this so that we wouldn't have to go to DC for a senior trip. So, you know, we had to manage the money. We were managing money. Like, we had a treasurer, we had a president, vice president. This is outside of school.
Now, I wish we had learned more about investing in a lot of different things. So I would say that a lot of that I may have gotten late in life, not to say that I didn't get a small foundation. But it's important now that I teach my children, and they'll teach their children's children, and my nieces and nephews, you know, we're teaching them about investing. So I would say that we may not have gotten a solid foundation in financial management and like budgeting and everything, but I know that was something we probably learned early on leaving, because when you out there, as Tim alluded to, you got to figure it out.
Right.
So you got to figure out how the money stretch. You get what I'm saying? But I do know I came from a household where my mom, we didn't skip a beat. If she had $10, I promise you, we ate good meals.
That's right.
No matter what it was. So I do know, how to make a dollar stretch.
Yeah.
And if that accounts for anything, then there you go.
And I couldn't even tell you what a bill looked like when I was growing up. All I had to do was be a kid. That's all I had
to do was be a kid.
I think a big thing for me when the EBT come and when
all these kids know everything.
I ain't know none.
We didn't know that.
I ain't know none of that.
That's because all of us came from the time where EBT was those food stamp books. We don't know what no card looked like.
Yeah, the paper
the
and all that
money.
Hey,
the colorful money. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I used to see the transactions in the store.
Yeah.
Go ahead, GC.
I think for me, my biggest thing, like, it was something I didn't understand and appreciate when I was younger, but like, I realized as I got older, I realized like I had everything I needed versus the stuff I wanted. Like, they're not dwell on like the things you want, because just to be appreciative like what I do have and what I need to do to have these things that I gotta have. And then my family is just a hard-working family. Like, they get mad when you're not working. Actually, like, over the summer, I think I'm just about to relax. I'm just gonna like hang out with my friends and play outside. No, they gonna find some way for me to work. They'll give me the application, like, oh, Grant, go work on the house with him. Like, man, I don't even remember one summer that I had that I wasn't doing some form of work and trying to like save up and provide for myself and just help out wherever I can. Like, now I'm appreciative of it. At the time, I didn't really like it, but now I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think a good word to describe all of what we've been through. We are resilient people. We may bend, but we won't break. We may bend, but we will not break. We are strong. We are some natural born leaders. We are talented, and we can do a lot of things.
And we've run all across the world. We've yet to find anybody to replace us. That's why we still together.
Exactly. That's right.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah. So 2 things. I learned savings. I didn't learn investing. Like, I didn't understand that concept.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until, college and afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I learned all that.
The saving piece, you kind of, got a hold of that, you know what I mean, if you were working and getting money. But I will say this. When I was in high school, there was an entrepreneurship class. And we were trying to put a Waffle House in Allendale. And we went to the headquarters and everything. We created a business plan, and we would talk, have the class, we'll go through it every day. It was a really, really dope class. And actually my first sight of like entrepreneurship, you know what I mean, in real time. We couldn't do it because Waffle House is private, and it had to be zoning. It was like a zoning issue. If they didn't have one close, and like you couldn't do it. So that like broke our hearts, but it gave us an opportunity to see like business planning and what entrepreneurship was really, really about. So that was one of the things that Allendale introduced to me at an early age.
And I also have to say this because nobody's mentioned it, but I have to. Because Allendale is such a community, family, oriented place. Y'all, we enjoyed going to Vacation Bible School. We enjoyed learning the word. We had Easter speeches, we had Christmas speeches, and ultimately because we did get some word in us, that's what sustained us as well. So I'd have to say that no matter who we went to, they believed in the word, a God, and you got it somehow, some way. Whether you were saved at that time or you just got a little bit that you knew a little bit to hold on to take with you on your journey wherever, and then that drew you in, and you just remembered the conversation that you had, back then. But yeah, we got our biblical teaching and foundation in Allendale as well, because I'm sure y'all was in Vacation Bible School with me. Me and my brother walked to church.
I think I was going for the wrong reason.
5 miles. We had
shame the devil, Kanye.
ties, but we went to X drinking some Rolos because we was hungry because we had to walk.
I just went because we had hot dogs on Friday, so Friday was always the biggest day. And
but you remember something.
Exactly. And let's switch gears for a second, right? So
okay.
Well, shit, I was going to say it. We always in the news for something negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you guys read the most recent article or whatnot, but again, apparently there's some local officials who have been dibbling and dabbling, stealing money, mismanaging money. The town's already poor, and there have been stories about people putting money in their personal funds, giving Christmas, giving holiday bonuses and stuff like that. But you give them bonuses, but you ain't doing shit for the town. So how do you guys feel about, what are your personal opinions on the mismanagement of the local government? I know we may not have all the details, but just, at face value, what are you guys' opinion on that?
So let me say that didn't just start. That's years of mismanagement, and it continued. People who probably came into those offices saw that things were mismanaged and wasn't properly handled, may not have reported or whatever, but it just didn't start today. It didn't start last week. It's many years of mismanagement. And so for me, it's disheartening to learn and to try to throw it all in one person's lap. But they need to go back some years and look into it. So
that ain't true. Hey, accountability starts with you.
Well, it does.
It starts with you.
I
can't say what happened before you. I can't say what's gonna happen after you.
And I agree with you, bro. I do. I agree with you, bro. I do. And you're right. When everything get uncovered in your time, you're the one that's gonna hold the bag. I do agree, but it just didn't start. We can agree on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. But you're right. Accountability does start with you. You should have did the right thing while you were in office. I agree with that.
That's right. You can only control your own ship.
No, you're right.
That's
you were right.
Ship you can manage.
That's right. You are exactly right. I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
It's like
people take advantage in Congress or politics of smaller towns, and then when they get caught up, that's the one thing that people jump all over because they don't talk about the teachers and the great things and all the community aspects of Allendale. They do talk about when someone takes advantage of the town and the area, but it makes me wonder, do these people get in office to take advantage? They feel like ain't nobody paying attention.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's definitely
No check and balances.
No checks and balances. There you go. That is the right phrase. No checks and balances.
And the only thing that I will say with that, because I wasn't heavily involved with this most recent election, but I had some there were some candidates who I was pretty tight with, and personally I thought they were phenomenal candidates. Mm-hmm. I thought and they're not natives of Allendale, but they have a vested interest in Allendale. Yeah, they came from bigger cities to live in Allendale. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they were phenomenal candidates, and I was straight up with them. I was like, it's like you fight an uphill battle trying to win an election, it being an unknown. And that's why when I had my podcast, I would bring them on so people can know who they are. But we have a tendency to vote for who we know, who's going to give the best fish fry, who's going to throw the biggest cookout, and so we have a tendency to vote for
popularity contest.
Popularity contest based on last name. But these guys had some great ideas, and I was extremely disappointed that they didn't win. I hope they continue running, and and based on these recent things that have happened, these are the people you should have had in office because some of this probably wouldn't be going on.
That's true. Yeah.
I was thinking about earlier how
because it's time for us to get out of our old ways and old habits.
Yeah, I was about to say somebody teaching you something.
Yeah, exactly.
Of insanity.
Exactly.
I don't think 10 people invented to do the same thing. It's a process.
It's a process. It is.
One or two, I say, hey, yeah, they did it on this.
It's deep rooted.
You got 10 people doing the same thing.
It's deep.
That's a process, bro.
It is. It's deep rooted.
It sounds like the buddy system is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And
It's
Tim
a
and JC,
time
y'all
right
wanted to
now for
chime in?
all of us who know better to come from the good old boy system. We're all victims of the good old boy system, from Allendale to Richland County to Sumter to everywhere. We are all victims of the good old boy system. And then what they do is they drag out the negative, but they don't speak of the positive because the positive shines a different light.
Exactly.
And it's time for it to stop because we're the definition of insanity. This stuff don't work. It ain't never worked, but we keep doing the
Yeah.
same thing. You see it in high school. Everything's a popularity contest, but that
Mhm.
don't get us nowhere.
Absolutely. And Tim and JC, y'all had a comment?
Oh
Some
yeah, I was
always
gonna say
does
like ever since I was
at this
younger, like
point.
I remember like the same exact names on all the different campaign materials. And then once I got old enough to vote, and I would look on that ballot, and it's the same exact name since I
Yeah.
was young.
Mhm.
And then I never really saw any major differences or anything, but they would just always remain in those same positions, and I just never really understood that at all. And it just never stopped, and it's still going to this day, honestly.
Mhm. And because they held those positions for years and years and
Yep.
years,
It's
again, no accountability. So because I've been in this office and nobody's gonna come and check my records. They haven't this long, so they're not coming.
That's true.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, it's just sad, man, because you know, at the top this is happening, you know what I mean? And at the ground level, you got these youth that the town ain't but so big. So
That's a good
and now
comment.
we're in the age of social media where they're like, dang, so you trying to tell me to be good. You know what I'm saying? You trying to lead me, but you
Yeah.
out here stealing the money. That's why we
Yeah.
can't flourish. You know what I'm saying? So that impact just trickles down to the individuals that are like hurting already. And so it's sad. I have no sympathy for them. You know what I mean? At all. You know what I mean?
Change is necessary. I agree with
It's time to
Katrina.
change
Yeah.
the narrative.
Change is necessary.
Change is necessary for real. Like,
Start
you know, we gotta
down there.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's disheartening for me because I know the truth. I know, the place I came from. We didn't always have the best of everything, but we made the most of what we had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we it's and like to Connie's point earlier, the minute, because when you meet new people, they like to ask, hey, where you from? I promise you, anytime I say Allendale, whoever I'm talking to, it don't matter where they from. They know somebody from
They
Allendale.
know your own.
oh yeah.
They're like, yeah, X, Y, and Z, like, yeah, we graduated together. That's my homeboy's brother, something like that. But it's one of those things where, and I guess people don't see that. It's
But
not
Myers
just my
also
family.
made a point that was really big as well. He
Who's
said,
that?
as kids, he made a point when he said, as kids, the only thing we concerned ourselves with was being kids. Most of us didn't know that we were broke or dealing with struggles until we were
You
grown
didn't have a
and
clue.
had
Who's
to do
rich?
stuff, and we realized, this really don't like we weren't supposed to be eating noodles and stuff. That's not different, but we didn't know no different because we grew up as kids, and
Yeah.
so
I thought that
you're right.
everybody ate pork and beans and rice for dinner. I didn't know.
Hey, no cap.
We didn't
That
even
joint
realize
was
what
Some
that
the
joint
salmon and rice
good.
Hey,
and
that's
fatback.
James Doctor's
Yeah.
favorite meal.
Salmon, the rice,
He
the
got
Salmon and rice
fatback.
and
that
fatback. What? Woo.
I thought that was in everybody's household. I ain't
From
know.
the neck
Quadruple
bone. Yeah,
woods,
collard greens.
tomatoes, and rice.
Tomatoes, rice, and sausage.
I'm trying to tell
Yeah,
you.
One of the
that's
best
something
meals
else.
out there.
I know.
Yeah,
And we still
I put my wife on tomatoes, rice, and sausage. Her life changed.
Look, tell Shava come aboard.
I know, and we still have we still got a few minutes left, man. And before I let y'all go, I do want to hear from each of y'all individually, because where I am right now is at 45 years of age is me giving back to the youth or putting them in a position where they don't have to go through a lot of the struggles that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Like I preach to my niece, my nephew all the time about going to school for free. When you get out, when you graduate, when you get paid, you bring Uncle Sam off. You ain't got to worry about paying no student loans. You ain't got to worry about paying nobody back. Your money is your money. You know what I'm saying? So my question for you is, what advice would you give to the kids who are currently growing up in Allendale?
For me, and I think we did this when we visited Allendale Fairfax. When we visited Allendale Fairfax back when we, went to the school to do a career day. Put in your mind that there's nothing you can't do. You can do whatever you put your mind to, and then do it. Don't be afraid. You got to jump. You have to just know that whatever it is in life, if you set a plan, if you fail, you're going to learn something. If you succeed, you're going to be successful. But just do it and know that there's nothing that can stop you but you. So don't be afraid. Do it fearfully, do it scared, but do it. Don't stand still. And as you said, Hook, student loans is a beast. If you get your education now, get your education, get some scholarship money. You can go to Scoli.com. They have scholarship money. They have scholarships if you are too tall. They have scholarships if you are too short. They have scholarships for being a female. They have scholarships for being a male. They have so many scholarships just for quirky reasons where you can get money to go to school. And so look for every scholarship there is. If you Google scholarships online. If you go to your guidance counselor and they act like they don't want to help, or maybe they don't have the knowledge or the capacity to be able to help you, figure it out. But put a plan together and you can be successful. But don't ever let anybody tell you no. I've had naysayers in my life. I had an uncle who told me I was going to end up barefoot and pregnant in Allendale. My father thought I was going to be in Allendale after I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. He told one of my cousins that I was going to end up in Allendale and not be anything. And every negative thing they said about me, I turned it around and made sure that I wasn't what they said I was going to be, and that I was going to be successful. And that's what got me here today. That's why my drive is so hard. That's why anybody who steps into my life to try to be the man and the head of my household, people have to match my fly. You don't match my fly, you got to hit the ground running. I am not an aggressive female. I have real feminine energy that I give off, but at the same time, don't come in trying to run anything because, look, I've been doing it. You get what I'm saying? But if you come in and you want to match, you want to compliment me, we can compliment each other. I ain't saying I know everything, but boy, I'm a force to be reckoned with.
You know a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
And that's why we were scared of her in 7th grade, y'all.
That's 7th grade. I was gonna change your last name.
I'm a boss in my world, and I ain't gonna change that.
Absolutely.
So you come in, I'm singing Steady Love, I'm just singing Jill Scott. Not Jill Scott, I'm singing Steady Love.
That's why we sisters and brothers.
Right. Exactly. We couldn't match that fly, right? And the thing is, though, and to your point, Adrian, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
It's what you answer to. That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
James K., what you got?
So my one thing, I just want to remind you that you should never ever place a limit upon yourself. There is nothing you can't do. Like whatever that big crazy dream is you think you got, you can accomplish it. And I just want to remind you to always celebrate yourself in the sense of like, a lot of times I remember like you'll come home with the report card and like you'll try to show it off a little bit and they'll just say like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
I just want to remind you like, yes, you're supposed to do it, but like you should take the time to be proud of anything you do. Like you should never ever try to diminish any accomplishment, any goal you set and you accomplish. Be proud of yourself, pat yourself on the back, like take pride in what it is. And I just want to let you know that I believe you. If nobody else believes in you, I believe in you. I believe you because you come from somewhere where people, everyone from there is great. Everyone there has the ability to be great. And you just built a different way when you come from Allendale. And I just know that makes all the difference in anything you could do in life. And I believe you and I love you. That's all.
And JC, I have to add, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to, you don't have to run real fast. Just slow and steady. Just keep it moving. Movements.
Yeah, and to JC's point, honestly, we just built different. Period.
Right.
You ain't gotta agree. We already know, so it's all good. It's all good.
Different. We got to hold the hook. Jesus.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yo, so I got 4 things real quick, right? So the first thing is, and I wrote this in my book, when people doubt you, don't become discouraged. Let your actions speak louder than your words. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you don't get into this back and forth game about what people say about Allendale, what they say about you, what they're saying about your family. You just let your results talk. You know what I mean? You go in, you do what you have to do. You graduate, right? Whatever it is that you say you want to do, you do it. Let your actions speak louder than your word. You know what I'm saying? Execution is worship. Like people don't respect talkers. They respect people who execute. So you just go and execute, and all that other stuff, forget about it. You know what I mean? The second thing is you got to think for yourself. You know, critical thinking is important. You know what I mean? You may not think so now, but it was this quote, and I just want to read it to you that just blew my mind. And it said, think for yourself or others will think for you without you.
Right.
That's right.
God doggone it. Y'all about to get me started.
That's hand in hand with the dream.
I'm
you want to build
saying,
somebody
like,
else's dream or you want to build your own. That's right.
you feel me? You got to think for yourself. So I need you guys to think for yourself. The other thing is like, I want you to, you got the smartphone. You know what I'm saying? You got the iPhone 12, 13, 22, whatever number they got right now, right? Find the areas that, in career-wise, that are thriving, the areas that it seems like, you know what I mean, are winning, that are making the most money. Technology, you know what I'm saying? STEM, you like all of these things, like what, and look at them and see if you have an interest in it, right? And then if you can tie the interest to get up with it, then you can create a path, right? And once you can create a path, you can start to put a target to it. And if you can get a target, now you got a goal. You see what I'm saying? And now you got a goal. Now you got motivation behind you. You got a strong enough reason.
That's
you
right.
feel what I'm saying? And then the last thing, guys, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Here's the cheat code. Here's the cheat code, y'all. Lean into this. Lean into this. The cheat code is find your point guard. What I mean is find you a mentor. People that already done it. You see what I'm saying? People that already made the mistakes. You feel me? Like find you a mentor that can help guide you and put you in a position so they can run the play for you.
Yes, that's a good assist right there.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
You get them that for free.
You know what I'm saying? For free. All of that.
Hey, Tim, what's the name of your fraternity again? I forget. What are you?
Alpha.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm just making sure.
Following up, Hook. We already opened the doors of the church when you was preaching. We don't want to hear them.
All right, Con.
Man, it was kind of hard to go behind all that, but I'm gonna sum it all up. So where we are now in Allendale County is tough times don't last, tough people do. We already know each other. We just got to get through it. You know what I'm saying? But the only way to get through it, gotta put God first. So
Amen.
We put God first, we can trust the process.
That's right.
If you trust the process, everything else will fall in place.
That's
now,
right.
Remember, at the end of the day, we all are business. You are CEOs of yourselves. Don't let
Absolutely.
nobody tell you different.
That's right.
That's the best company you know, and that's the company you take care of.
That's right.
So, hey, at the end of the day, Allendale County is Allendale County strong. So
That's
we love all y'all.
That boy is spitting, boo.
That's right. We love you all. Market yourself. Get your 30 seconds elevator pitch to tell people why you the best.
That's right.
And for everybody that's watching, I really want you guys to make sure that you share this material. You know, these are people from my hometown. These are people who you know, how the kids say, got out the mud. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy. It was not easy, but all of us, we're living testaments that we can, like, it doesn't matter what position you're born in, it's what you do with the cards you're dealt. You know, you're not gonna always get a Trump hand, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen, but it's how you play your cards. And the thing is, learn from my mistakes. You know, I'm an open book, you know, so I'm not afraid to say, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about credit until my credit was fucked up, and I had to build it up. You know what I'm saying? I had to get it right. But the thing is though, but now that when you know better, you do better. And everybody coming behind me, I don't want them to have those struggles.
Exactly.
I don't want my nieces and nephews to have to worry about the credit. I don't want my daughters to, you know, have to worry about going to school and how they're gonna pay for it. That's why we're trying to instill that in them now. And our parents certainly did the best they could with what they have. But now that we have the experience now, and we're in the driver's seat, so it's up to us to nurture in the next generation. It truly is.
And little girls, don't let them little boys whisper them sweet nothings in your ear.
Oh yeah.
Little boys, don't let them little girls whisper sweet nothings in your ear. You got time for that. You need to work hard now and play hard later.
This
generation, they got plenty of time for that.
Plenty of time for that.
This generation of kids like us, they don't fall for love like we used to. These kids, they move different. Like they ain't having babies today in their 30s. These like, nah, I ain't about that life. So they don't want a family at 22.
They may not be about that life, but they do there's some stories out there where they let them sweet nothings be whispered and some things happen.
I know, right? And My sister said we got to have a part two. Don't worry about it. It's coming for sure. I guarantee it is. And Chris, what are we talking about next week?
Oh, Jesus, y'all, listen. We just had this real wonderful, powerful. But listen.
Back to the foolery next week, huh?
Back to the foolery next week. She just said, don't whisper sweet nothings in their ear for little boys and little girls. But when you grown, though, when you grown, whisper to me.
I'm not fooling. I'm getting off here. I gotta go.
And this comes from a person that's not
somewhere to be.
See, now they said whisper sweet nothings, not tell the business. I'm about to head back in there now. So listen, next week we're talking about foreplay matters.
Oh,
see, told you. Now don't let no little boy and little girl whisper sweet nothings in your ear. But when you grown, no. Let me tell you something. You let me tell you a story too, all right?
So that's what we're doing next week. So again, Adrian, Conyers, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys for coming on. And we just proved to everybody who graduated from Allendale Fairfax that the class of '94 is the best to ever do it.
We set the bar.
Period.
Maybe for Allendale, 2003 for Richland County, but carry on.
Hey Tim, you an alpha, so so we good. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to worry about that. So hey, but thanks for coming on. JC, I appreciate you, man.
Nice.
I'm proud of you. And Chris, my dog, I'm gonna see you again next week. Audience, make sure you guys react.
Let me get one of those shirts because I'm about to be from average to awesome. Wait a minute, I need that shirt.
Yeah, so you can order from me. I can send you the link. What's your
Send me the link in the chat because I'm about to go in here. I'm gonna have to look at it tomorrow. I ain't gonna remember nothing tonight, okay?
I bet.
Hey, good night,
y'all.
Good night, y'all. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.